important for us. If you are not able to speak in English post lockdown,
Mm.
getting a job is very difficult.
Yes,
HR would not hire.
correct. I think the first thing that they see is that you can communicate better. You know, you can communicate your ideas, what is going on in your mind. And the only way to do is in English, right? We cannot talk like for professional setup, we cannot speak in our native. So yeah, that is how it is now. Tanvo. And I'm a teacher by profession. And I take English spoken classes. Earlier, I used to teach in schools, but recently I started my own small thing, you can say. And here I give spoken classes. We do mostly activity-based learning, in which we do role plays, spoken activities, little bit of grammar, vocabulary, and this is pretty much what's going on right now.
That's awesome. I couldn't stop appreciating you. You are doing great job in your life, Tanu. And where do you basically from?
I am from Siliguri. It's in West Bengal.
Are you Bengali then like me?
Yes.
I'm from Kolkata. Yes, I'm from Kolkata, and there is where I born, brought up. Let me talk about myself. My name is Kazi Taufikul Amin. I born, brought up at the outskirts of Kolkata, in a village where I grew up. I completed my studies from there. Later on, I found my niche into speaking English. So I joined this domain, this realm, where I found, like there are multiple people who I can interact with and make podcast with. So this is how we met. And I am very grateful for that. And I am so grateful for the acceptance of the request that you did.
It's my pleasure, actually.
So can I ask you some questions regarding it? Since you are running a coaching center, you are a professional trainer. I think I should be asking you a few crucial questions in order for my viewers advantage. I think I should ask you some questions so
Yes,
you can help them improve their English.
yes, yes, yes. Why not?
Okay. Okay, let me ask you. I will begin with the question that who are not even beginner at speaking, they only understand. This is the question for them, from their side. That according to you, how important, how significant speaking is in today's area, in today's era.
I
How
think,
important English is in today's era.
yes, I think it's not about me telling it. If you go around and see people, notice people, you will be able to know that, everybody right now, I think I tell it in many like I talk to many people, and I think everybody agrees to this is that English is becoming kind of first language for Indians, right? Everywhere you go in metro stations or you travel in metro, I think in Delhi, Bombay, everywhere people start whenever they want to start a conversation, they start in English. So that itself tells, right, how important is English right now in this era. Right.
That itself suggests that how inseparable English has become
Yes, yes, correct.
throughout last decade, maybe within last decade, like it has become uh, very, very okay. I got it. I understood. That is a very nice way to put it, Tanu. I appreciate that. And one another question that tags along with that last question I asked. That is, um, some people are willing to speak, but they are struggling. They are struggling with grammar. They are struggling with um, vocabularies, new words, idioms. People make fun of them, and they thought that learning English is a very difficult task to be done. So according to you, how important vocabulary learning and grammar is, and why we should inculcate some exercise and some habits related to these things, and how important they are, if you can tell us.
I think, as you said, right, they struggle, like they are absolute beginners and they struggle to communicate. Maybe they think that their vocabulary is not good enough or the grammar is not good enough. But what I feel is that it's okay. If you're not perfect, that's fine. But starting is very important. If you will not speak, you will not learn. Right? So let along, for some time, let's forget vocabularies, let's forget grammar, but the first thing is that to start speaking, right? Let it be some broken words or whatever, right? So the first important thing is that we start speaking. Then only it comes, next comes vocabularies, next comes grammar. It's okay. But we have to start because I have a lot of students who struggle with this and they think that no, I know what's going on in my mind, but when I see somebody, I feel nervous. I feel like they'll make fun of me. That's I just say it's okay, let it be. How does it matter? Like, it's your life, right? If you want to learn something, you have to start it. So this is my funda that okay, everything will follow along, but starting is very important.
That's correct. That's correct. Starting, we should set out our journey to learn English by only speaking wrong English.
Yes.
That I often say to my friends. They are terrified of speaking, but I tell them don't be a parrot. Learn 12 tenses, but only for the purpose of learning. These 12 tenses will not take us to advanced level of speaking English. It never happens that way. It takes years and years of practice. In this regard, Tanu, I often get one another concern
Yes.
that my friends face, or many of my viewers they complain they have this issue of confidence. They cannot go up to people and talk. Whenever they are in front of any crowd or they are among group of friends,
Yes.
they tend to make mistakes more. They falter, they fumble.
Mm.
So what are the tips you have for them in order to have a good level of confidence in English? I know people are confident, we are, but
Yes.
if when it comes to English, it all started
Yes.
tremble. So
So
what is your take on that?
yeah, I think initially, everybody has faced this, whether, we feel when we meet somebody new or we think that, okay, that person knows better than us, then we start fumbling, right? That is human tendency. But I think see, it's not about using perfect vocabularies, perfect word, perfect phrases, right? Whatever we know, if we know only one sentence or we know only few of it, we can mix and we can talk, right? I think that initially that will build your confidence, half of it, or just a phrase, or just a sentence, or just something, right? So that starts building up the confidence. And also for interviews and all, I would say that when a person is interviewing you, right? If you crack the interview, then it's a win-win situation. If you don't crack the interview, you will never meet that person again, right? So when I used to give interviews, I used to have this mindset, right? It's okay. I will never meet this person again, right? It's just a phase of half an hour or 1 hour. So in that point, at least we can have that confidence that, okay, I mean, this will not last for lifetime. This is just a matter of time, right? So I think this kind of things, if we reiterate in ourselves, I think that builds a lot of confidence.
Yes, that's awesome. And like we should be far more confident in front of HR that you have mentioned. I agreed with that.
Yes.
And it is pretty much very benevolent advices that you have given. I will also apply them in my life. Often I get nervous when I go in front of HR, when I go up to any company and give interview. I feel a little bit intimidated. You know that I use that word correctly. Yes, I feel intimidated. I feel a little bit hesitant. Oh my God, this glitz glamour of this office and the people, like
Yes.
what if I make fool of myself then? But we will. What if we make a good
Yes.
impression then? Like we should always think about the positive side as well.
Yes. I think that's how it is. It is all about we prompt what we give prompt to AI, that only we get, and whatever prompt we give to ourselves, to our mind, that's what happens, right? The universe is like that. So I think yes, at least before the interview starts, we can just say that it's okay. We will not meet this person again, right? So yeah, I think that has helped me a lot. And somebody told me this in an interview setup only, so I that stuck with me and I try to implement that in my life.
Okay, that was whoever has told you this, that person was a legend.
Yeah.
Right. I have never, yes, I never put my thoughts across the way you did. Maybe you got it from somewhere else, but you have implemented it and got benefited by it. That is what very, very important. I get many advices daily, but very few of them I really apply in our daily life. I think that is the most crucial part or the, very important part. Okay, I have my next question with me. Since you were talking about speaking, how important confidence is, but while learning English, people who are learning English, they follow you know, four ways in order for learning English: speaking, listening, then reading, writing. So many people face they don't have any issues with you know consumption, but they have a lot of issues with production, and among production, between production, there is speaking and uh, writing. So many people face writing, many people face a problem in writing, sorry, pardon my sentence. So what are the tips that you can share with them in order to have a good command over writing skills?
Yes. So mostly what we like in this genre that we are doing on YouTube, people focus more on speaking, right? Speaking is their main agenda. But even I take classes for students, also school going students. So what I do is that I every day on a daily basis, I give them few keywords, okay, 5 keywords, and I expect them to make a story out of it. Okay, maybe initially this is what I have seen, I have experienced, is that initially they are not able to make any meaningful story. They just randomly write something. But with the time goes, they start writing meaningful stories from those vocabularies, from those words. Right. So I think this is a very good practice. You pick some words and you try to frame sentences. If not just plain sentences, you can put some kind of story or what paragraph, and you try to connect things together so that it makes a meaning, right? So initially it might not be very easy, but what we can do is we can write 2 sentences, 3 sentences, 5 sentences, and we can progress that way. I think this would help for writing.
Yes, and no matter how small we do, like it counts by the end of the day. We are advancing towards learning English. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
One English trainer has given me one tips that I have to share this.
Yes.
I have little something to add on here. We should describe any object that we have in front of us, like switchboard, dressing table. Suppose this curtain, like the down part is purple, the upper part there's a flower motif. There are flower motifs, so we
Yes.
can describe anything
Mhm.
and make paragraphs out of it. We can write about our childhood stories. There are multiple fairy-like stories I have came across with from my friends. They describe while they practice English. So I think these are the things that helps us exponentially well
Yes.
in order to improve our writing skills. Here, okay, like we are done. So I will go ahead with the next question that is very, very important. Tanu, you will have to answer that. How some of the people who are learners, they are inclined towards English and very passionate about learning. They don't have that environment. They are from remote village. They live hundreds of kilometers away from major cities. They don't have money. Even if they have access to English classes, via online, but they don't have money to invest in their speaking skills.
Yes.
So, is anyone who can learn English? Is there anyone who can learn English without spending any money from internet? What are the tricks and tips that you can tell people who are middle class, below middle class, and poor,
Yes.
but still have that vigor to learn English? Go ahead.
Yes. I think, of course, we can learn. It's not necessary that you have to go for a class, or if you are dedicated, you can learn anything, right? If you have that passion, that fire inside you, of course, why not? And I think everybody has mobile phones now. Wherever you go, whatever remote villages you go, everybody has got internet, everybody has got mobile phones, and everybody has YouTube, right? So there are n number of things, n number of videos, like we do. This is our journal. We make conversation videos. They can watch that, and also Chat GPT, right? If you have nobody, there is always Chat GPT. We can, try to talk to Chat GPT and give it a prompt like, rectify me, rectify my grammar, rectify if some words are missing or some words are incorrect in this. So that way, of course, I won't say that it is easy, that it will be done within. What people expect is that to do whatever in 15 days or 1 month, but it is not like that. It's a process, right? We have also learned it took us time. So it takes time for everything. So what would you say? Like how much time does it take for someone who is just beginning and to be a good communicator? How much time do you think it takes?
It depends upon every individual, but if I talk about my personal journey, it all started in 2021. I didn't speak before that
Yeah,
in English.
correct.
Uh, Yes, it has been going on for 3, 4 years. I will tell you something where it's very, very important. I have realized over a period of time. If you stop practicing, the level will diminish. Then again, if you relearn, you have that memory. The
Mm,
memory will flare up from your
mm, mm.
brain. That yes, I have learned these words. These grammatical rules are familiar with me. So it's like muscle memory. You will gain that fluency within span of maybe very few days.
Yeah,
But at the beginning, it's always difficult to learn English. If
yes.
you forget later, you can gain it within 15, 20 days. But hell no, you cannot learn English within 20 days or 15 days. It's a lifelong journey. It has been still going on. Yesterday by itself, I have learned few new words and I'm very delighted. I never want to be learned completely because I love the process of learning.
Yeah. Yes, and like you said, even when I was caught up with some work, I was not able to talk to anybody. I'm talking to you after a long time, okay, for this YouTube. So I think last day, I think 2 to 3 days back, when I had the conversation, even I was fumbling because I had lost that practice. Right. So it is practice. It's all together. What matters is that you keep on communicating, you keep on talking, and you should give. This is a process, this is a journey, and we should give time to it, right? And also,
Yes.
I would like to add one thing. I went to a book fair kind of thing, and I got some books yesterday. So I was so delighted that, okay, I will read it. And when I started reading it, you won't believe that there was a complete shift of perspective. And I understood that it's always that we learn, we try to gather some knowledge, and then only we can communicate better. That is also very important, right? That you keep on getting some good ideas. Like for example, you make YouTube videos, right? You have to talk, and you should have ideas, right? What will we talk? You cannot talk to 100 people just about English, 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 right? We should have some ideas, and that idea comes from reading. So reading is equally very important.
This is very significant. I would say in order to build a uh, writer-like heart or our mindset, I
Yes.
think reading is very important. It helps us in every aspect in our life. And whatever you said, that is absolutely correct. I have noticed that in my life as well. Even a few days ago, like I was more practicing in those days. I watched a video that I recorded. Like I was shocked to myself that is it me that's speaking? Right now it is difficult for me
Yes, yes.
like that.
Right.
There are multiple vocabularies that I forget, like, they are where they are, I don't find out, but they will, they will be, they will dig out sometimes. I'll figure them out. Again, I will find like there's a, deja vu, that French word. I don't know what is the meaning in English. Like you will feel that feeling that you know that thing, but you don't know where you know that from, but you know that word somewhere. It is very funny. Okay, one another thing I want to talk about here, I want to ask you here, that is, people who are beginner speaker, they are speaking in front of mirror, they are speaking uh, at their home, in their room, they are speaking with themselves. There are self-talk method and shadowing method. You may be aware of all those things. So
Mhm.
how do they find someone to speak? In this era, it is pretty much easy if you inform them some of the ways from where they can get their co-learners, and from where they can learn, grow together by sharing their thoughts and the learnings they are getting every day.
Yes, I think, see, I have never used any app as such, but my students use some, they tell me that, okay, for some kind of practice, they use my Shivi. It's quite famous. So they find co-learners there, and even they make friends and they try to connect themselves like on WhatsApp or something. So by my Shivi, it helps them a lot. And it's not very expensive. So yeah, if possible, they can try my I don't know. Personally, I have not used, but my students have used. So I just have this to say.
Yes, there are multiple free applications are there in order to improve English, but people are pretty abusive there, you
Yeah.
know. If you, yes, if you don't wanna make your mood off, or if you don't wanna ruin your day, then you can spend few hundred rupees or few thousand rupees to get into the application that madam has said. I will give the link in back, in description, so you can, it will be far more easier for you to get.
Yes.
And one another thing, ma'am, like you just mentioned that you didn't learn English. Sorry, you didn't learn speaking by talking with anyone over the phone call. You already knew this. So can you please tell me your speaking journey? I would love to hear that.
So I think is first is that see even I didn't have any environment to speak where everybody is speaking English. That doesn't happen in India, right? It is not like that. We talk in our native only at our home with our friends. But yes, I always had that inclination towards reading. I love reading. I 5 6 years back also I had a collection of books. Now, since I am moving places, I cannot carry my books everywhere. But of course, I always have one book with me so that whenever I get some time, I read it. I think reading has helped a lot, and also listening, right? Generally, I like to watch movies and podcasts also, but I try to switch it to English so that I know where the annotation is, how do they stop, how do they pause, and how to, make the sentence structure also. So that helps. I think listening and reading has helped me a lot. And then comes speaking because I talk to my students. And I think this has given me an edge because every day, 4 to 5 hours, I take classes. So I talk 4 to 5 hours. Practice is enough, I think, for somebody. Right? So I think, yeah, this has helped me. And anybody who would try this would help them also.
Yes, definitely. It would help anyone, whoever is learning English. If that person is reading every day, then writing, then listening. Listening is very important. I think Netflix, nowadays, Netflix is available, other web series are available where they can learn English directly from web series or TV shows. But in before 2000 or 2000, sorry, before 2020, before lockdown I'm talking about, or during lockdown, post lockdown, it all suddenly popped up, but before that they were not there, very less.
Yes.
In those days, making an environment of English was pretty difficult because I'm from traditional Bengali household where people do not speak any other language other than Bengali. They don't even learn, they are not comfortable with Hindi as well. So it is difficult for them to speak in English. First of all, they don't understand. Otherwise, they will accuse me of a snob, if you
Yeah.
know the word, that you are being too arrogant, you are bragging yourself. That's the reason you are speaking and you are doing too much. You need to stop yourself like that. It was funny, and in front of friends, it was far worse.
Yeah.
I couldn't use these language at all, and I was in dilemma. Then, by the grace, by like a God's spoon, like I got to know about few calling application, and throughout lockdown, they helped me like crazy.
Mm. So you started your journey long back. I think now I regret it a lot. I should have used that time more judiciously. I should have opened or started my YouTube channel, which I did not do, and I regret it a lot. But then it's okay. It's all
I
destiny.
did.
Yeah.
I did myself, but I couldn't continue because in those days I didn't have that confidence to come before camera
Mm.
and say the things I want to say.
Yeah.
I would feel so, I was little overweight as well.
Yes.
So I had a lot of insecurities going on within me. What if people call me something, call me names, and they humiliate me over the comment box? And what would I do? Then I shut down my channel. Again, I revived it before a few days ago. That's it. It's only matter of few months only I have started, but it has turned out to be amazing, wonderfully well. I love this journey. There are multiple
Yes.
people like you who are as sweet as you. There are a lot of teachers. From them, I'm getting a lot of tips which are helping me, not only me, my viewers, whoever are my, subscribers, they're getting help by it. I'm so grateful for that.
Yes, even I didn't know that it is happening. I think I got to know some 2 to 3 months back. But then when I met so many people, I talked to them, and it was like a new door opening for me. So much to learn, so many perspectives, and I think that is what I was looking for. And this journey is amazing, I would say.
Yes, this journey is amazing. And about English environment, what would you say? Like reading books, writing, and speaking and listening.
Yes.
These four things, if a person does, like, is there anything else that one person can do to improve their English, or
Yes.
these things are optimum?
I think, as you said, shadowing is also very nice. It's very good talking to yourself in front of the mirror. Or I also suggest one more thing is imagining situation. You are going to a bus stop, get a bus, you get on board the bus, and then imagining situation, which I do a lot. And I try to tell it narrate it in English to yourself, right? I think that also helps. So everything put together, of course, but as I said, if you have that passion, if you have that fire in you, of course, we will learn, right?
Yes. If we have fire in belly, there where there's a will, there will be definitely a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. And
Correct.
I remember, I remember I had really creepy habit of, talking to myself. Many people used to call me fake at my office. I used to have lunch alone, and whoever my colleagues passes by, like, used to say, "What are you mumbling? Like, are
Mm.
you possessed?" They used to say that often. Like maybe you will murder someday, you will murder some people someday, and things like that. It was, it happens to me, and I did self talk a lot in English, and apart from that, during bath time I do that, and over a period of time I realized that I'm dreaming in English.
I think.
In my beginning days it happened a lot. It's hilarious.
Mm. And happy to know that, okay, someone is like me. Even I do that a lot. When I'm not able to sleep, sometimes I talk to myself, right? So, yeah, that helps. It calms your mind down also. And yeah, anybody who wants to try can
Yes.
try, but I'm not sure how it turns out to be. But it's good.
Yes, it is very, very beneficial for us. If you talk about, you know, shadowing. I did shadowing. I started shadowing. I didn't know it's called shadowing. I used to do it because it was improving my English. Later on, I found out there is a this is the process named shadowing.
Yeah.
But I was glad that nobody has taught me. I discovered myself. It was, if you repeat that after that person, it can help us improve our English. Obviously, we know what are the terms, what are the sentence structure that they are forming while speaking English. I'm talking about some American shows. They speak very fast, very fast.
Yes. And also, I would say that whatever genre you like comedy, there is comedy content. You like some, self-help things in English, it's also there. So whatever genre you like, you can just see it. You can just enjoy the content, and you can learn also. I think that's the best way. You won't be bored.
Yes, definitely. We should make a lot of friends. Uh, while chit-chatting with them, you would not even realize that if you are speaking in a foreign language.
Yes.
In later parts of learning English, there will be one day that will come when you will realize that if whether you are speaking in your mother tongue or English, you will not even realize that. So those days are yet to come. So pull your socks, guys, and start learning. There is no substitute of consistency, and whoever are persistent, they saw the light at the end of the tunnel. They never give up. So that should be our approach. You know. And you often get straight. I do that. I often, I get distracted very easily. Like after a few days, the realization dawned upon me. I have forgotten few parts of English. Then again, I frantically learning. I start learning. Then again, something happens. This is a process, but we never remain the same. That is the thing.
I think it happens with all of us. If not distraction, the circumstances is not in our hands. Something, family issues or some traveling things, and everything happens. But then, if you are making a part of your life, then of course, eventually it turns out to be good. We learn from everything. That is what I think.
Yes. Okay, one more question that I have to ask you. I almost forgot that question. That is, many of my friends who read every day, but often they complain whenever they go to read. After two paragraphs, they lost into their thoughts. They lose track. They end up starting from the beginning. First of all, it's difficult to read for a beginner or for intermediate with hard vocabulary. But if they lose track, it's kind of out of the frying pan into the onto the oven. So if you can tell us what are the ways that we don't lose track and our full concentration is on our reading.
Yes, I think a most important thing is that what you like as a person, what is your favorites, right? Some people enjoy criminal movies, so they can read such books. Some love romantic movies. There are a lot of books, right? So what is your interest? You are a very bubbly person and you sit with a self-help book. Of course, you will be bored, right? So first know your interest, and then based on that buy a easy book. Maybe some Indian writers who don't write very difficult vocabularies, easy book, and which is related to your interest field. I think then you can read. I think you won't be bored and you don't have to go back again. So that's how I do.
Yes.
I don't see recommendations and then I pick a book. I don't do that. I see what is my interest area. Based on that, I type a prompt on ChatGPT. Okay, tell me books related to these things, and because we have ChatGPT, right? So it helps.
Yes. Okay, I have small input here. Then I will ask you another question. That is, I did it, and it helped me really well. I used to read loudly. If something really bad going on in my life, what I do, I have to read though. Then I start reading loudly. After 1 2 pages, my throat get parched, but I never lose the track. I'm reading it with full concentration. I think many people who are fickle minded, they can apply this method. And I will tell you, I'm a living testimony. It helps like anything. It helps you a lot.
Yes,
And one another thing, yes, one another thing, you can point your finger in every line where you read. Even if you are lost in your dream, when you wake up from your dream, your finger will be pointed same place where you last read. But I will recommend you, please do not get lost in thoughts. Okay, anyways, I will ask you, okay, let me ask you, how important nowadays we have the benefit or blessing of AI, artificial intelligence, chat GPT is there to help us from everywhere. It helps me a lot. So according to you, how beneficial it is for our English learners, and what are the advantages that they get?
As a teacher, I would say that it has helped me a lot. Like for making PDFs and all, that has helped me in the routine work. But somebody who wants to learn English, I won't say that you can just talk to ChatGPT whole day and you will know when to stop, when to speak. But I would say that if you want some vocabularies, if you want some phrases, if you want some synonyms, antonyms, like what can I use instead of this word, what is the opposite of this word, so I think, yeah, nothing better than that, right? So these kind of informations you can just get it quickly. But at the end of it, all the discussion, I would say that human interaction is unbeatable. Human interaction is needed no matter how much chat GPT comes, right? So yeah, this is what. But I would say that
We need human beings. Yes, go ahead.
it was a very insightful session. I mean, your questions were very, very good. So I think whoever listens to this, our viewers, will benefit from this. And thank you for having me here.
No problem. It's my pleasure.